So since yesterday we've heard the news about the school closures, obviously the cancelling of A-level exams, GCSEs, and the opening of schools for children whose parents are in key work positions, as the government's putting it. So do you have any concerns about how the exams are going to be sorted, whether you think students are ready to head out at this point?
I think obviously it's such an unprecedented position, isn't it? And who can, I feel sorry for all those people that have to make all those plans and all those decisions, because those decisions are massive and there's no model to work by, there's no pattern to follow. And so anybody who makes a decision is making a brave decision, aren't they? And decisions like this are always going to be criticised. From my point of view, yeah, I've got my own children are being sent home from school. So who looks after my children? Am I a key worker? Am I here to look after, students when essentially my children are at home? So who looks after them? So there's all sorts of things in the air, all sorts of worries at the moment. I think though that hand on heart I can say that as a college, nobody's gonna close the doors at 4:05 today and say bye. I'd be very happy for students to contact me, to mither me, to badger me with anything that they've got that they're worried about, and I'd be very happy to answer emails and things like that. It's just a massive shock at the end of the day. It's hugely shocking. But yeah, I'd hate to be in the position where I'm the one making all those decisions. Essentially, I'm still in teacher mode, so I will do whatever I can do to help anybody out at this stage. Okay.
Do you think it puts you at a disadvantage at all?
Of course it's going to put us at a disadvantage. We're missing out on a lot of key skills and work time, and we're going to be sat doing pretty much nothing. But I think it's important to use our skills and stuff to work together, to all the grit and determination in the face of adversity, to come together and support the local community, all the elderly folk who are less fortunate in their ability to fight off this virus. I think we need to apply ourselves, but we just don't know if it's going to impact us further. Obviously this is going to have a big knock-on effect on education for everybody, and the way we think about education and the way we think about work. It's massive, and we're going to need to change after it.
Do you think you'll be pursuing other projects while you're out of school? Because obviously you've got nothing to work towards at this point because we've got no A-levels. So do you think that you'll be doing other things to occupy your time? And if so, do you know what they'll be?
I think we all need to find something to do to occupy ourselves, a bit of that camaraderie, coming together and helping each other, applying ourselves, because otherwise what else do we have? I don't know what you think.
What he said.
I said.
Alright, great.
Peace and
So you're a student that wasn't taking the A-levels this year, is that right?
Yeah.
So because you weren't taking the exams this year, but you'll still obviously be affected by the school closing, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, the courses that I do are BTEC, so it's all like mostly coursework based and stuff. So I'm essentially just left to do the work like of my own devices anyway. So I'm not really like affected or impacted that much. You know what I mean? So if I'm getting told basically just to do this work, I can do it at home. So I'm not affected as much as I possibly could be. You know what I mean? So realistically, like I'm fine with like the situation that we're currently in and like the way they're working it.
Yeah. Do you feel disadvantaged, or do you feel relieved?
It's been both really, because it's kind of relief that kind of the stress of the exams has been removed, but it's also kind of 2 years of your life has just been kind of almost cut short, if you will. Like, it's a premature ending to 2 years of education. It's like not the way you expected it to end.
And if it comes to entry for universities and final grades being based off predicted grades, but they do add a system where you can take the exam, do you think, based on your predicted grades now, that you'll take the exam and try to amend it?
I think it depends on the subject really, kind of whether or not I'm doing better than predicted grades, but I think right now I'm quite satisfied with what I would get. But if it's required, I'll be more than happy to do them, really.
Do you feel that students are being put at a disadvantage by the government, or do you think that they're in a state now where they could still do well off their predicted grades, or another system that could be in place?
Yeah. Yeah, they won't be disadvantaged, but how that's going to happen, we don't know.
And do you think that, based on what universities are saying about online exams being put in, do you think that a system could be put in place for A-level students to do the same, or do you think that it's ground zero, no exams?
I haven't heard about
I think it was Holloway College have said, Holloway College, a university, have said that they're doing exams remotely, but...
Right, what is that, a sixth form?
No, that's a university for their final exams. But do you think that the same
okay,
priority will be given?
Right, universities are operating by a different set of rules, it appears, to colleges and schools. So, yeah, well, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, whether it's late examinations or whether it's online. But that's definitely not what schools and sixth forms and FE colleges are doing. So all BTECs, GCSEs, A-levels cancelled.